So maybe the most fundamental idea about a universal basic income, or you could also call it general basic income, is that it is, from a certain point of view, not actually unconditional. So it's paid to everybody, so it could be considered unconditional on an individual basis. However, we as a society have certain conditions that we need to meet in order to be ready to start paying a universal basic income. And so the most fundamental of these conditions is that we live in a society of labor division. If 200 years ago we have about 90%, 80 to 90% of the population living and working in agriculture, we live and work for ourselves. If the family likes something, we grow it. If the family doesn't like it, we don't grow it. Today that has changed. So basically for the past 200 years we have developed, we also call it the Industrial Revolution. I'd rather call it the Industrial Evolution because it's an evolutionary act, has brought tremendous changes, substantial changes that basically advance us, but where we also see today some negative sides. And the universal basic income or general basic income can help to mitigate these negative elements of the industrial evolution. So maybe let's begin with this most fundamental thought. As I just said, we can draw a graph that begins basically 200 years ago. Today we have 2025. Then we can say 200 years ago we had 1825. And when we look back, we can say that at that time 80 to 90% of the population lived and worked in agriculture. The others were clerics, maybe military, some aristocracy, craftsmen, all of these, but most of our ancestors lived in and worked in agriculture. So I have found no other graph that explains this nicer and more intuitively than the development of the market volume over the past 200 years. So we can say that in a society where everybody lives based on sustenance, we grow what we eat what we grow, so there is not really much market opportunity and not a great market. So as labor division is advancing, we increasingly share goods and services. So in other words, almost 100% of what we consume today is produced by others. At the same time, almost everything we do in our labor-divided society, we do for others. And that is expressed in the development of the market and the market volume. So if we say 200 years ago, the market volume was whatever it was, but it was 100 at that time, it grows annually on the basis of 1, 2 or 3%, so it's exponential growth. Then there comes a crisis, so it goes down, but then it comes back up, then maybe there is a war, comes back down. So basically, but the development is like this. So today, we can say that almost everything we produce for others. Almost everything that we consume is produced by others. That is maybe the first thought, and a second thought will be shown in another video.